faith. What is faith? How does the faith promoted in the Song of God, promoted by myself, promoted by Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother, how is that distinguishable from the faith promoted by all the religions on the planet? Is there a difference? The answer is there is a profound difference. And I want to codify it in a simple phrase. In order for a faith to come from God, to be genuine, to be the true faith, it must give every believer the right to walk away without any condemnation from God. Because that's how God avoids unrighteous dominion. I grew up reading the story of Moses, reading the prophets of the Old Testament, and they always start this way. I come before you and give you a choice. I bring you life and death. Choose. I was a member of the Mormon church. They loved that story about Moses. I bring you life and death. Choose. You know, that's what a mugger says when he holds a gun to your head. Give me your money or your life. You know. If the choice is life and death, you have no free will, no agency, no will, you've been only given two options. And so the faith you're going to exhibit is based on fear for your life. And if you walk away, you're doomed to eternal hell. Does that sound like faith to you, Kent? How about you, Christine? I didn't think so when I was a kid. How about you? No.
That is how I was taught.
That's how I was taught, yeah. As far as God is concerned, the greatest sin that God could commit is unrighteous dominion, where they take away your right to choose for fear of some kind of eternal punishment. The faith that we represent must be chosen every day. I choose mine every day. I get up and say, this is the day which God has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I made my decision. Okay, today I'm faithful. Of course, I'm always faithful. Do I have the right to walk away without any condemnation from God? Yes, of course I do. Will I do it? Hell damn no. Why? Well, because I know Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother. What will I tell them when they show up and I go, I'm sorry, I gave up my faith today. Could you come see me tomorrow? That would not look good. So I could, but I won't. I could in that I certainly have the ability and the right to do so. I won't because I will not. That's my decision. Everyone here, now you just took covenants, Richard. You have to know that. You have the right to walk away. No condemnation. You have the right to stop believing in me. No condemnation. Now why do we say that? I'll tell you why we say that. Because we understand that life is more than this life you're living. You're going to live many lives, and that life is a school. It is not a purgatory. It's just simply school. You know? And I know when I was a kid, I always wanted to play hooky, but I never dared because I didn't know I had that choice to make. I always went to school, unless I was suspended. Then I had to stay home and work. You know, you have that right. And that's one of the interesting things about being a true Gnostic. We are at liberty at all times with God. You know, I'm getting ready to do something. I'm getting ready to set a lot of people at liberty. And I intend to warn them. You have now been set at liberty. Do not surrender it again for the sake of any faith created by men. Let me tell you about the faith promoted by your Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother. This faith is simply this. You have the right to walk away without any condemnation from God. God, believe it or not, will take the blame. You know how God looks at it? You know how your Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother look at it? They don't look at it as your fault that you walked away. They look at it as their fault for not explaining themselves better than they did. It's leadership. You take the blame. You know, if someone fails at something and you're in charge, they may have really failed on their own. But at the first failure, you always say, the failure is not yours, it's mine. I failed to teach you properly. If you walk away, you have done nothing wrong. I have failed to teach you properly. And that's an interesting thing. I can say, I have failed to teach you properly, which is why you walked away. And then God will go, well, that's not really your fault either, son. We failed to instruct you properly. You know, the blame always goes to the person in charge. You know, is there ever a time when walking away from your faith carries some kind of penalty? No. I'm going to give you a for instance. If you decide next year to walk away, I will remove your name from the membership rolls. And as soon as you come back, you don't have to say a word. I'll just put it back on. You don't have to retake your covenant. You don't, children wander away. You know what I mean? Children don't always do as they're told because they're kids. I just wanted to get that point across because I'm getting ready to do something really extraordinary. I wrote these discourses